Do you want to know why you're stuck? It's not laziness. It's not fear. It's not even confusion. It's something else entirely. And once you see it, everything changes for you. In the next 7 minutes, I am going to show you the three real reasons you're stuck. Not that surface level BS that everybody talks about, but the actual reasons. And then I am going to tell you exactly what to do about it. And that third one is the one that nobody wants to admit, but it's the one that changes everything. Number one, you're waiting for clarity. You think that you need to know exactly what to do, exactly how it's going to work out, exactly what the plan is before you even move. But here's the problem. Clarity doesn't come from thinking. It comes from doing. You're not going to figure this thing out sitting on your couch. You're not going to have this mystical, magical moment where everything suddenly becomes crystal clear and makes sense. Clarity comes from action. You take an action, you take one step, you learn something, and then you adjust. You take another step. It's like flying the airplane as you're building it. Because here's what's really happening is that most people are using clarity as a stall tactic. You say, oh, I just need more clarity. And when you actually need, what you actually need is the courage to take the action, courage to move while it's still unclear, courage to take the step to fire up that airplane before you even know how it ends, before you even know if you have all the parts, courage to act before you are ready. But most people like to stay stuck, right? Waiting for some roadmap that doesn't actually exist. You don't know what you need to fly the airplane until you're in the sky. And so then if you wait, nothing happens. And days turn into weeks, and weeks turn into months, and months turn into years, and years turn into a lifetime. And you're still sitting there waiting. Stop waiting. The second reason why you are stuck is that you never learned how to metabolize discomfort. And let me explain what I mean. We talk about stepping outside of your comfort zone. Everybody's heard that. We know that's what we're supposed to do, is get out of our comfort zone. But here's the truth. You were never taught how to actually feel discomfort without collapsing, without fleeing. I mean, think about it. When you were a child, when you were a kid, when you felt scared or uncertain, or maybe you were overwhelmed, what happened? Most likely you were either told to toughen up or you were rescued. But nobody teaches us how to actually sit with discomfort, how to actually breathe through it, how to let it move through our body, and to continue taking action. Nobody taught us to be with discomfort without shutting down or running away. So here we are as an adult. And every time you try to do something that matters, something that means something to you, something that scares you, something that stretches you, your nervous system goes into a panic mode. And you interpret that panic as, this isn't for me. I'm not ready. I should wait. I'm not cut out for this. But that's not true. It's not true. It's not the courage that you're lacking. It's the capacity to regulate yourself, to regulate yourself through that emotional friction of discomfort. Most people do not know how to stay in the fire without burning up or running away. And here's the other part that's important. Deep down, you don't trust yourself with power, because power amplifies everything. If you have unresolved chaos inside of you, more power means more chaos. If you have patterns of inconsistency or self-sabotage, more success means more damage. And somewhere deep down inside of the subconscious, you know that this is true. Your subconscious believes this. So your subconscious does something brilliant for you. It keeps you stuck, not to punish you, but to protect you. It's trying to protect you because staying small is so much more safe than rising into power that you don't know how to hold, that you don't trust yourself with. So here is what I'm asking you. What if the problem isn't that you're not ready? What if the problem is that you never learned how to feel the fear and keep moving? What if you never actually learned how to hold that discomfort in your body without shutting down, without running away? What if you never learned to trust yourself with your own power? Because that's what separates people who rise from people who stay stuck. It's not confidence per se. It's not skill per se. It's the ability to metabolize the discomfort and to trust yourself with what comes next. All right, here's the third and final reason. And this one is the one that nobody wants to face. You're stuck because the person that you have been has to die. Okay, let me explain. For the past 20, 30, maybe even 40 years or more, you've been someone. You've been the responsible one, or the steady one, or the nice one, the one who doesn't make waves, the one who goes along to get along, the strong one, whatever it is, right? You've had a role, and that identity, it worked. It worked for you. It kept you safe. It kept you accepted. It kept you belonging. But here's what you need to understand. That identity, it wasn't built for who you are today. It wasn't built for expansion. It was built for survival. It was designed to help you survive your family, your childhood, your circumstances. And it did a great job. But now Now you're trying to build a better life. You're trying to build something fabulous. You feel called to something great in your life, but you're still wearing that old survival suit and it just doesn't fit anymore. So every time you try to move forward, every time you try to step into something greater, that greater calling that you feel in your bones, your subconscious panics. It panics because moving forward means that you're not that person anymore. You're no longer the responsible one, the one who holds it all together. And if you're not that person, then who are you? If you're not that quiet one, if you're not the nice one, like your brain doesn't know what to do with that loss of self. And it interprets that as danger. So it keeps you stuck. And not because you're lazy, not because you're unmotivated, not even because you're scared of failure, but because you're terrified of identity death. Because success means you might have to leave people behind. You might have to become someone other than who you are. And people might resent you. You might lose that version of yourself that everybody knows and loves. And then what? And you might have to take responsibility for a life that you've never lived before. And here's the truth that most people never face. You can't become who you're meant to be without letting go of who you've been. You can't. You can't step into your power, this next best version of you, without grieving the version of you that kept you small. You can't rise without metaphorically killing off the identity that was designed to keep you safe. So let me ask you something. Who do you have to stop being in order to become who you're meant to be? What identity are you clinging to because it feels safe, even though it's killing you? What version of yourself are you still protecting? Because that's actually your prison. And are you willing to let that person die? Because that is what it takes. Not motivation, not some plan, not more confidence. It takes being willing to grieve who you were so that you can become who you're meant to be. It takes being willing to let the old you die so that the new you can be born. And most people, they're not willing to do that. Not willing to do that. They'd rather stay comfortable and miserable than face the death of who they've been. But you're still here. You are still watching right now. So maybe you're different. No, I know you're different. You're ready. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to ask yourself 2 questions. First, what role have I been playing that's keeping me small? Second, who do I have to stop being? Who do I have to stop being to become who I'm meant to be? Just sit with those questions. You don't have to answer right now. But once you see it, Once you see the survival identity that you have been clinging to, once you see the prison that you have built around yourself, everything changes, because then it's not about motivation. It's not about having a plan. It's about being willing to let go of who you were. It's about trusting yourself and who you're becoming. It's about being willing to grieve, to shed, to die, and to be reborn by choice. And that is the hardest work there is. But it's also the only work that actually matters for long-term identity change. So if you're ready, start there. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.